Vadakkam, friends. This is Namaskar in Tamil. Okay, so let's start today's discussion. Regular answer writing day 19. I am glad to announce that we have completed 3 units of our GS paper 4, that is ethics. We have completed a unit of attitude, also emotional intelligence, and probity in governance. So today we are starting with the third unit, that is aptitude and foundational values of civil services. So with all the consistent efforts you all have put, so it has been a motivation for me to keep going without major disruption. So let us take first question with that enthusiasm. The first question is, discuss and evaluate the relevance of the following in the context of civil services. So focus on the word, the discuss and the evaluate. So it is not just about writing what it is. You have to evaluate the relevance, whether they are relevant or not, to what extent. So you will say, yes, they are relevant, but yes, they are relevant, but you have to be cautious while exercising these values, because the unit is foundational values of civil services. In this, think about the foundational values of civil services in terms of the Nolan Committee. Nolan Committee has given the values of civil services in the public life. I told you the mnemonics is SHALOOI. So this is the way you can recall. And some of the values the UPSC or the PCS has mentioned in its syllabus are the integrity, the impartiality, the non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance, and compassion. So, with all the discussions I have taken so far, I am fairly confident that I have discussed the aspect of empathy. I think this one I have taken in the third day, and I have also taken this dedication to public service. These two aspects I have already discussed, so I will not be going in great detail while doing this unit. Although I will give you the brief or the broad framework in which the particular answer that will come can be written. So that is my point. And for today's question, see, I have taken 4 values. So with that, I will be doing integrity. The part of integrity will be completed, and the impartiality, non-partisanship, and objectivity. So these 4 values will also be covered. However, there is one broad question that I have planned to be asked in days to come. That is with respect to the interplay of two values, whether objectivity is important or integrity, whether knowledge is important or integrity. So that sort of interplay wale jo question honge, I have kept this for days to come, not on the very first day. Means it is a sort of warm up, that to what extent you are able to recall. आज के questions कुछ वैसे ही हैं. So let us start. So there is not much that I can uh, teach you, but anyway, let's see the new things what I can bring for you. So focus on the word discuss. Also focus on the word evaluate. So these two words you need not miss, because otherwise आप एक aspect लिखोगे that yes, these are relevant and these are the relevance with suitable example, but you will not score the wonderful marks because you have missed the one side of the story. Don't miss that. Okay, that is the precaution you have to take. So let us start with the word integrity. If we talk about the integrity, it is about the, I am first giving you how you will think. So you will think that integrity ka means integral. Integral means the complete. You know that this is what it is. Means You will uphold your moral, mind the word your means own, खुद का moral and ethical standard that will be consistently adhered consistently adhered across time and space, even when no one is watching. Even when no one is watching means you are doing because your moral conscience says yes, you have to do this. Even at the midnight you are crossing, you are riding or driving a car or so, you find a red light, no one is there, yet you are standing. So that shows integrity. You are doing even when no one is watching. That is called integrity. So if it comes consistently, then it is integrity. It is about the wholesomeness of character. Wholesomeness of character. So I hope this is clear to all of you. What is integrity? Now you think about the examples. The better examples I can give you, the example of Manmohan Singh, Honorable ex Prime Minister. Second example I can give you the of that of Shastri ji. ठीक है, the Shastri ji का example I can give you. The third example can be the example of any whistleblower. And another example you can think about Ashok Khemka, you all know. And so these examples you all might be aware of, but how your answer will be stand out different from others. मतलब ये सबको पता होगा that everyone knows Shastri ji was an integral person, Ashok Khemka. If you think about the whistleblower, we have Satyendra Dubey. Then how you will make a difference in your answer? How it will look? Yes, you have an in-depth knowledge, not just superfluous. You have read somewhere and you are writing. So in brief 2 3 4 words or the 5 words in one sentence, you will explain that why we can say that these people are the man of integrity. So you have to bring those aspects. For example, I have read one copy that the example the candidate has given, that Delhi Metro and E Sridharan. What exactly this person has done in Delhi Metro so that you can call him the man of integrity, that part is missing. So I want to demonstrate that aspect. So if you take the example of Dr. Manmohan Singh or Honorable Prime Minister, what he did, I will tell you briefly the story. He was at the forefront of the reform, the economic reform India undertook, the LPG reform. So post LPG reform, there was a depreciation in rupee. Means as compared to dollar, the value of rupee increased. Means for example, say might be 50, reached till 80 rupees. Means this is not the factually correct, might not be. But my point is to say $1 में जब depreciation हुआ, devaluation हुआ, तो rupee कमजोर हो गया. We can say the depreciation happens as compared to dollar. Because the honorable ex prime minister or erstwhile the finance minister was at the helm of affairs, means he was the person working for LPG reform, and also he was aware that things are going to happen. So at the personal capacity, this person was holding some amounts of dollar. So at the point of time when rupee depreciated, so value of dollar increases. So he got some appreciation because he was holding the personal dollar, and appreciation happens because he has taken some decision. So he donated that appreciation. Nobody has asked him, you should do this. So that is the sort of integrity this Dr. Manmohan Singh has demonstrated. So you will write one statement that donated appreciation in dollar post LPG reform. So if you write such sort of thing, means one statement in a better refined manner, not in the entire story you can write, because it's hardly 150 words you have. or specifically for this question, you have four parts. If we talk about the Shastri ji demonstrated, it's just one incident I can quote. Once he was in jail and he was given 14 days of parole. The some member, one member in his family, I think the daughter and all, somebody was not well. So he got parole that I will take care of her and meet her and all. But after a few days of the parole started, that person member died. So post death of that person, he came back. That now this the purpose for which the parole is given is no more required. So he returned after doing the necessary rituals, and also he returned. That reflects the level of integrity. So you will write not completing the parole for the purpose it was granted, not availing the parole for the purpose it was granted. That sort of a statement if you write the Shastri ji ke case mein, that will be okay. Then Satyendra Dubey, NHA, National Highway Authority of India में engineer थे, and he blew the whistle and all. Ashok Kemka, you all know, consistently remained with the values he was adhering to, displayed wholesomeness of character despite more than 50 transfers in a very small amount of time. So if you give such one statement along with the example, it will make a difference in your answer. So mind this thing, what I am trying to suggest. Now comes what kind of quotes you can write. I have already suggested you what kind of quote you can write. If you, any one of you are able to recall, please do mention in the comment section or tell me how can you write. I am suggesting that there is one quote is related to the ship sinks, because this is integrity. You have to maintain your moral standard or ethical standard despite having turmoil all around. So ship sinks not because water around it, but when water enters into it. So you have to keep your moral guards high. Okay, so that sort of quote you can write. Now comes the evaluation part. Why it is relevant? You all can give the argument that the trust of the people will increase, the rule of law will be there will be positive use of discretion, people will not hide behind the rule, there will be dedication to public service, all sort of argument you can give. But now it is about the evaluation. So evaluation में you have to give that द वे यू विल थिंक, उसको मैं बताता हूं कि आप कैसे सोचोगे कि जब हम किसी चीज को इवेल्युएट करते हैं तो हम कैसे कह सकते हैं कि इसको और बेटर बना सकते हैं. ठीक है, हाउ कैन वी मेक इट मोर बेटर. इवेल्युएशन सॉर्ट ऑफ. इवेल्युएशन का मतलब ये भी, इफ आई एम इवेल्युएटिंग योर कॉपी, then I will never say कि okay all things are very good and you will get 10 out of 10 or 8 out of 8 or 12 out of 12 or 15 out of 15. 100% will never be correct. There will always be a scope of improvement. So a person, despite having integrity, may not perform better. We have one quote asked by UPSC. It says, knowledge without integrity is dangerous. But it also says, integrity without knowledge is of no use. Means you are a man of integrity and you don't have any knowledge. Think about a doctor or a surgeon that is very honest, full man of integrity. He will not charge you even single money, and he is determined by the Hippocratic oath, Charak Sanhita and all. जो I think चरक शपथ की बात हो रही है आजकल. I think it is implemented also. Hippocratic oath से we have taken diversion. So this surgeon is very integral man, but he don't know how to operate. अब आप बताइए क्या करेंगे? Will you prefer to go this person? He will not take any money. He is very honest. He is man of integrity. But he has, in his entire life, conducted 10 surgeries and out of 9 patient has died. Because he don't know how to put stitches and how to conduct an operation and all. So only having integrity means you will take a stand based on that sheer integrity, or sheer integrity, sheer objectivity, sheer non-partiality will have some drawbacks. So one argument of evaluation will be that only this will not work. And second argument you will write that you have to complement it with something else. So if you take that sort of stand, that evaluation part will be covered better, in a better manner. I hope most of you, I think I have read or I have seen that most of you have missed that. Despite a multiple repetition, I am again and again saying, जब भी डिस्कस लिख के आता है, जब भी इवेल्युएट लिख के आता है, must give the flip side of the story, must give alternate perspective, then only your answer will be complete. Despite my repeated request, if you are not doing, means you are not listening to what I am saying. So please don't commit this crime. If you don't understand what is meaning of these words, do refer to the video of directive words. I have created one, refer to that. It will help you not just in paper 4, but across papers. It is my humble request, please go through, but don't commit such mistake. I am talking here with some specific context. So please don't commit such mistake. If you aspire to become a better officer, at least to clear this exam, you need it. Anyway, that's too much gyan I have given. So let's move to the next part. It says second is impartiality. So I am taking the impartiality and the non-partisanship together. Okay, so impartiality and the non-partisanship, I am taking it together because someday it can be asked that what is the difference between impartiality and non-partisanship. So try to understand. Impartiality is specific to state and non-partisanship is specific to bureaucracy. ठीक है, non-partisanship is related to bureaucracy and impartiality is related to state. Means if somebody is saying that there must be a value of impartiality, so that value must be demonstrated by the state. But in impartiality, the bureaucracy will remain impartial. Oh, sorry, non-partition. I'm really sorry. Okay. So first thing. Second, it is a positive concept that you will do all these things. It calls for duty. You are duty bound to do all these things. What it is, I will tell you. But in the non-partisanship, you think on those lines that it is a negative connotation. It has a negative connotation. It says you should not do this. Means think on those lines, DPSP or fundamental rights. Fundamental rights puts restrictions on the state. That's why they are negative in tone. So non-partisanship calls for restriction, that bureaucracy will not do such things. What are these? I will tell you. While DPSP puts obligation to the state, means DPSP or fundamental right, I am taking these words to make you understand. They have nothing to do with the word impartiality or non-partisanship. Don't get confused. I hope this is clear till here. Now come to the substance, what it is or what it says that you have to do. It says that states should take decisions without any bias or prejudice. It says you will not discriminate and remain fair to all humans or citizens, and you will not discriminate based on religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, nationality, or the person holding the public opinion. Means in some way this value put an obligation to the state that you will not create the tyranny of majority. that most of the people has voted for you, but the people, those have different political opinion, you will not deliver the services for them. If this will happen, the welfare state ka jo obligation hai, the antyodaya will not be there. So impartiality is important in that sense. It says that equal benefits be given to all. These are the relevance I am telling you. Mind it. This impartiality is behavioral in aspect, behavioral in approach, कि बिहेवियर कैसा होना चाहिए हमारे स्टेट के जो नुमाइंदे हैं या जो हमारे ऑफिसर्स हैं. It will be in the behavior, it will be reflected while delivering the goods and services. I hope this is clear. For example, we have contributed for, don't say we, the government has funded the Hajj Yatra. It also has obligation to regulate the temples. It also give donation to the gurdwaras. Recently GST से exempt किया था गुरुद्वारा के जो लंगर चलता है उसको. Means government is not discriminating while giving aids to the religion. Means government is not prioritizing only a particular religion. Means giving aids to all religions without discrimination. That sort of argument you will give. So action without being biased or discriminatory. So these things you will write impartiality mein. What about non-partisanship? I have already told you it is about bureaucracy. It is negative in tone. So what sort of things bureaucracy will not do? Non means will not, or partition means party. Means bureaucracy is not associated with particular party. So it is non-association in politics. Being apolitical. It is behavioral, it is in attitude. Impartiality behavioral है, आपका जो नॉन पार्टीशनशिप है वो एटीट्यूड है. Means long enduring predispositions, holding the bureaucracy is holding that it will not align with the ideology of one particular political party. Okay, so it is a long enduring predisposition. आपका mindset ऐसा होना चाहिए that you will work for the success of every government lawfully elected by the people and having clear mandate. I hope this is clear. So this is the part of attitude, and but the impartiality is part of behavior. I hope it is clear. So that sort of argument you will give. Means this bureaucracy will not be seeking the political patronage. Okay? If you think on those lines, listen, there is something called Weberian bureaucracy. Weberian bureaucracy, it is value neutral. Value neutral. Before that, the bureaucracy was of spoil system. Medieval time में जो bureaucracy थी, that was based on spoil system. Means the king was deciding what to be done, and based on the whims and fancy, what nowadays the leader of the biggest the earliest democracy in the world is doing. These are based on whims and fancy, spoil system. Nothing logic. So that's why Weber says there should be value neutral bureaucracy. So how the value neutrality will come? Value neutrality will come with two aspects. One is objectivity and other is non-partisanship. Means आप नॉन पार्टीशनशिप मतलब किसी पार्टी से एफिलिएट होके प्रॉक्सिमिटी एंड फेवरेटिज्म एंड नेपोटिज्म में इन्वॉल्व नहीं होगे. अदर एस्पेक्ट इज ऑब्जेक्टिविटी. आई विल एक्सप्लेन आफ्टर दिस. So while writing the relevance of non-partisanship or any other value, you can take one framework. Let me explain how. Why important means why non-partisanship is important, and even any value you can write in that fashion. You may not explicitly demonstrate that I am using this framework, but while generating the point, you can think along these templates. Again and again I was saying that you must, while reading, you must think that how will I be able to generate this point and write this point in my answer. So that sort of template I'm trying to give. Listen. So think on the line of political class. What benefit or the what relevance the political class will get? What sort of benefit the bureaucracy get? What benefit the public get? आप ऐसे सोच सकते हो. This is the framework. Means if bureaucracy is maintaining non-partisanship, bureaucracy is maintaining non-partisanship, then political class will trust their advice. अगर उनको trust ही नहीं है, then what sort of advice you will give? Means most of the candidates nowadays this have attitude. उनको trust ही नहीं है कि बता क्या रहा है बंदा. Then if they don't have trust, come what may, they will not follow your advice. And that advice, so always I give a suggestion. If you are taking advice from anyone, not only me, have that faith or trust, then only ask. If you don't have a trust, you will create mash. Means bureaucracy is there, the political parties are there, politicians are elected, but they don't have faith. Still they are taking advice. तो क्या होगा? Half-heartedly they will make the policies and half-heartedly the bureaucracy will implement. So trust is very important, and this theme is recurrent in the exam, and this question can be asked any day कि trust, why trust is important. तो वहां पे भी आप कई लेवल पे सोचोगे, उसका एक लेवल ये है ब्यूरोक्रेसी और पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का. ओके, सो ट्रस्ट एडवाइस, जो पॉलिटिशियंस है वो ट्रस्ट करेंगे, एंड द politician will ensure that bureaucracy will implement the policies what are made by me without fear and favor. उनको किसी चीज का डर नहीं है. That sort of trust होगा जो political parties हैं उनको. So that's why Sardar Patel, our first home minister, says that bureaucracy must maintain incorruptibility of administration. So that sort of argument must come. Now comes bureaucracy. What faida bureaucracy will get if it is non-partisan? Bureaucracy will get merit-based posting and transfer. Posting and transfer can take help of the risk profiling. I have already told you what is risk profiling. Okay, if you don't know, then refer to the previous video. That is the only thing I can suggest. Means अगर merit based posting transfer है, there will be efficiency, there will be visible outcome in the life of the people. जिंदगी सुधरेगी उनकी. Again link with the DPSP and the welfare state, constitutional morality, everything you can. But very precisely you can link it with the work culture. That what sort of work culture? Morale of the bureaucracy will be high. That I have been given this post because I deserve it, because I have experience in it. So think about the mission कर्मी योगी, डोमेन एक्सपर्टीज डेवलप करने के लिए काम कर रहा है. सो बेस्ड ऑन द मेरिट दे विल बी गिवन पोस्टिंग, नॉट बिकॉज कि यू आर नॉट द पर्सन आई लाइक. उसके बेसिस पे होगा ना तो फिर स्पॉइल सिस्टम ही क्रिएट होगा. सो यू थिंक ऑन दोज लाइन. द पब्लिक, व्हाट द पब्लिक विल गेट, देयर इज डेमोक्रेसी, द सब्सटेंटिव डेमोक्रेसी होगा. Everyone is getting what they want, not based on the affiliation. There will be confidence, there will be trust. So public intent will be, public interest will be paramount. So that sort of argument you will give. I hope this framework you will keep handy while thinking or generating the points. Any day you can think another way also, but this is one of the way you can try. What else? The next point is related to, what are the problems that may come with impartiality and non-partisanship. So again I am saying what I have suggested. Think what if it is sheer impartiality or neutrality. So if there is sheer impartiality or neutrality, अगर आप impartiality की बात करोगे तो sheer impartiality will lead to inequitable distribution of resources. Means there is disaster. Some people will be more affected, other will be less. And impartiality says you will not discriminate while delivering the goods and services. तो जिसको ज्यादा नुकसान हुआ उसको भी वही ₹2 देगा और इसको भी ₹2 देगा. Then what is the difference? So sheer impartiality will create drawbacks. So आपको उस aspect से सोचना है. Again and again I am saying, मैं आपको वो framework दे रहा हूं जिससे आप सोचोगे. With all possibility, this question may not be repeated, but the thinking once sorted will always be of at your help. Now think about the non-partitionship. If it is sheer neutrality, neutrality के दो part, objectivity and non-partitionship. If there is sheer neutrality, then it may lead to bureaucratic apathy. That I will do what is stated, nothing more than that. Otherwise, I will be seen as, no, this person is favoring to someone. That's why he is doing that. It's okay. There is a question asked by UPSC. It says, with good intent, everything is permitted except explicitly prohibited by law. So you can do everything. Bureaucracy has a lot of power. You can do anything, except what is explicitly prohibited. So bureaucratic apathy ना हो जाए, ऐसी neutrality पे नहीं जाना है आपको. That apathy or neutrality should not become a tool that you will not strive for excellence. Yoga karmasu kauslam. You must strive for the excellence and ensure that people are getting what they supposed to get in a welfare state. So think on those lines. What sheer adherence to that value, what sort of problems it will create, and how should we complement it with other value? If you think on those lines, your answer will always be better. I hope this is clear. Now move to the word objectivity. So objectivity mein, I will suggest you how you should approach. So what is objectivity? Let us take one background. I have already told you, just I am repeating it again. In the medieval period, there was a spoil system. I am giving you the background. If only objectivity is asked, what all things you will write? In medieval period, there was a spoil system. The king was not held accountable. No accountability. Huge corruption. There was administration running based on the whims and fancy of the one charismatic power of the king. So there were voices. Vices थी administration में. In order to resolve these vices, the Weber gave its bureaucracy, concept of bureaucracy, that what sort of bureaucracy there must be. And over the period of time, we have seen the governance has become a bit complex. So one person cannot do everything. So that's why we have hierarchy and the distribution of separation of power and all. So think on those lines कि Weberian bureaucracy क्या कहता है? Separation of power, hierarchy, the impersonal approach, the source of authority. So what if we get from this? Separation of power, there will be no concentration of power. Think about the legislature, executive and judiciary. Think if executive, the head of the government or the government is supposed to make the law, execute the law and even deliver the justice. What mass will be there? You cannot trust. Absolute power corrupt absolutely. So think on those lines. Separation of power. That's why Bavarian bureaucracy is important. Think about the hierarchy. I have shared one news. We have a wonderful MLA called from Unnao. Let us leave the name of the person. He is convicted of some heinous crime, outraging the modesty of a woman. So if this crime is committed, the High Court is acquitted. High Court has acquitted that person based on the premise that he is not a public servant. So, but we have a hierarchy, we have a Supreme Court. So what we have done, Supreme Court has overruled that and ensured that he will not get the bail. So that's why hierarchy is important. This is a very classic current affair example you can include. And you people keep harping, current affair. Think I am giving you here. Impersonal means without emotions. You will not put your emotions while delivering the things. What about the source of authority? Always there is law, there is constitution. You will do only what is permitted as per law. Okay, so you have to take it in background of this spoil system. Then only you will understand what I am saying, what it is. But if you move to the welfare state, the constitutional morality, it will call again what? You must include values. So, values, not what you feel is important or what you feel are important, but the values that will help adhere to the constitutional morality. All those values that constitution or our forefather has envisaged in the constitution. So, those value you must adhere. तो वैल्यूज यहां पे थी बट पर्सनल थी, यहां पे बिल्कुल भी नहीं थी, और यहां पर उन्होंने बोला दैट यू मस्ट हैव वैल्यूज दैट आर इन लाइन विद द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. I hope this much explanation is okay to all of you. Now, in this background, think about objectivity. So, objectivity is about unbiased decision based on facts, not influenced by personal feeling or prejudice or precondition or preconceived notions. वो सब नहीं होगा. आप प्रॉपर फैक्ट के बेस्ड पे डिसीजन लोगे. व्हाट लॉ इज सेइंग, आई एम डिलीवरिंग. You will bring a cost benefit analysis that, see, if I will do this, this will happen, otherwise this will happen. Based on that you will take the decision. One day if China attacks you, what you will do? Think on those lines. अब पाकिस्तान ने अटैक किया, what we have? ऑपरेशन सिंदूर. और जब गलवान में चाइना ने किया था, what we have? टॉक. बिकॉज वी नो कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस. उनका मिसाइल कहां तक जा सकता है और हमारी कैपेसिटी क्या है. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. So here I was talking about that in the spoil system there were vices of one person or the vices of humans. So what Bavarian bureaucracy tries? Bavarian bureaucracy tries to put control, restriction or limitation on the vices of the humans. So how they want to put control on the vices of the human? Through laws, rules and regulation का strict implementation with proper separation of power, hierarchy and impersonation and the source of authority, that is law. To overcome the challenges of the Bavarian bureaucracy, we have talked कि हमें constitutional morality को adhere करना चाहिए. I hope this is clear. So in this background, objectivity is important, and objectivity क्या है? You are taking decision based on fact, not based on the preoccupied notions or the personal feeling or the preconditions and all. It calls for cost benefit analysis, and it is like the iron cage of rationality. Okay, what benefit the bureaucrats derive by objectivity? You will again think on those lines. So thinking about the politician and the public is easy. I am giving you multiple aspects because it is about the civil services they have asked. So think first, if there is objectivity, it will help bureaucracy to navigate the conflict of interest in a better manner. Think you have GEM portal, government e-marketplace, you have to procure something or contract आपको award करना है. Think about the Kerala DM, IAS officer, Aruna Sundara Rajan. She has went for the pilot project. That is not objectivity. Just take it like that. अभी के लिए मान लो कि ऑब्जेक्टिविटी नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट शेयर ऑब्जेक्टिविटी. आई विल टेक इट इन सम जब हम इसका काउंटर पर्सपेक्टिव बताएंगे. तो जेम में इफ यू आर गोइंग ऑब्जेक्टिवली देन यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट लोअर बिड L1, जो जिसने सबसे कम पैसा कोट किया है उसको आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देते हो. दैट इज कॉल्ड L1, द लोएस्ट वन, लोएस्ट फर्स्ट. ठीक है. तो आपके पास ऑब्जेक्टिविटी है, देन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट अवॉइड करना आसान होता है. मींस 4 or 5 or 10 पीपल हैज अप्लाइड फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंड यू आर क्लियर दैट हु विल बी द लोएस्ट वन, आई विल गो फॉर दैट. ठीक है. तो L1 ये आप आर्ग्यूमेंट दोगे, हेल्प नेविगेट द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. एग्जांपल इज दिस. द सेकंड वन कैन बी help select the beneficiary. Means if you have to identify who is the eligible person, whom should I give this benefit or not. For example, think about the loan disbursal under Mudra Yojana. You will think that yes, if you fulfill these many criteria, there are ticks, then you take the loan. I think there are many categories, the Kishore and I'm not able to recall all the things, But anyway, you can think. Third, third is the objectivity helps you in challenging the prejudice. Prejudice means if person is having a idea that if we educate the girls will take or eat up the jobs that can be done by the man, and that is the patriarchy of apex level. Means they think that man has the responsibility to do the job and run the family and run the nation. What sort of rubbish idea they have? And this is women, if get educated, will eat up the job of the man. So if you counter it with objective manner, that if women are included in the workforce, not just they are eating up the job, but they are creating the job. Think about Falguni Nair or the sugar ka hai Vinita Singh. Yes, there are many more. So by giving objective fact, you can counter this prejudice that it is not the case. If somebody is facing is suffering from the disease called racism, उसके अंदर भरा है जहन में, so what you will do? You will give some objective fact that see, if you will go for genomics, biotechnology वाले समझ जाएंगे, and even it is a normal GS in science we all read that we have some genomics plan and we can go for the gene study. It is found that 99.99% जो जीनोम है वो सेम है सारे humans का. So what sort of difference you are talking about? If you give such objective fact, you can counter the prejudice. You can counter the superstition also. I have many times given the example of a snake. That how many snakes are venomous? Okay. So you can give example of countering the superstition by giving the objective facts with respect to the vaccine. You can counter the vaccine hesitancy. Okay. The fifth one you can say, if you are objective, there will be better personnel management. You will doing the posting and transfer based on the merit of the person. Morale of the person will be high. Work culture will improve. Performance based promotion, work culture, motivation. You can bring all the points. So I am giving you these points again and again, but you have to distribute across 4 points. 4 parts of the question that has been asked. Think again about the uphold the rule of law. How objectivity help you in upholding the rule of law? Means think if you are a district collector and authorized to impose arrest while section 144 of IPC, that is more than 4 people will not gather, or you are authorized for internet shutdown ke implementation pe. If you are objective, then you will see that these many criteria are being fulfilled. That's why we will go for internet shutdown. So it is not based on the whims and fancy of the person. It will always be based on what the rationality says, what the logic says, or what the points or the pointers available. You will tick all these points, then you will say yes, internet shutdown is required. Otherwise, we have Anuradha Bhasin case, right to use internet for doing commerce, Supreme Court case. 8th or the 7th you can think is uphold the accountability. Help uphold accountability. How? The CAG ने अपनी report निकाली थी on 2G scam, coal scam. Based on the objective report of the CAG, all these charges were framed. ठीक है? Uphold the accountability with objectivity. Next, you can think about objectivity will facilitate transparency. Our Right to Information Act says, what it says? It says that go for suo motu disclosure. I think section 2 says. So if person is objective, then it will uphold the fact, take the decision based on the fact, what law says, and he will be doing, he or she, of course. So suo motu disclosure, there will be transparency. Think on those lines, what your syllabus says, accountability, transparency, the rule of law. I'm not bringing these points out of here, just I'm thinking and telling you. Next can be, it will enhance the credibility and the trust. This is another way of thinking. One way I have told you, the people, the politician and the bureaucracy. Other way can be this. So trust and all. Trust is very important theme. So example can be upholding the trust and integrity. एक मैंने आपको बताया था bureaucracy and politician के बीच में trust. Another can be the people and the government. If government is following objectivity, think about the institution called ECI and the UPSC and the Public Service Commission, other UPPCS and all. They are conducting election. Election Commission of India is conducting election free and fair since the independence. So it has increased the trust and credibility because they are objectively doing that. There is set pattern. You have to do this. You have to do this. There is proper standing operating procedure, and they are following. Merit-based recruitment by the UPSC and the UPPCS and other Public Service Commission. So this objectivity will bring trust. I hope this is clear. Okay, but what kind of negative or the other argument you can give? In that you will think that, see, if there is sheer objectivity, what challenges it will face? Because you have to take decision based on fact. So what fact will say, you will do that, or what the standard procedure is, you will do that. So it may lack human sensitivity. And think about the example I have already given you. What it is means, person with disability and the people were made to go through the KYC, e-KYC, but they were not able to access that. So Rajiv Raturi case, think about that, give that example. I have already given. So that's why I said emotional intelligence वाला जो unit कराया था उसको आप पूरा कर लो and repeat those examples. Take it as a opportunity to revise and again reproduce in the answers in days to come. That's why I've given 2-3 days of break. Second, think about the data. You need data, fact for implementation. So sometimes data is not available, or it is available, it is too much, and you don't have the time to process that. You have to take the quick decision. Instant disaster हो गया, बताओ कौन सा data निकालोगे? You don't have time. कोविड में डेटा ही नहीं था. You are clueless कि क्या करें. The situation is black swan event. Even if you have data may go conflicting. Think about the situation of Dhoni in the World Cup once. He was out of form, but he was also, the person was thinking that I should go at number 3, but ये form में नहीं था. So he has two data that okay, I am not in the form, but other people, but this particular field is मैदान में मैं अच्छा खेलता हूँ. So he has taken decision based on intuition. So sheer objectivity might not have yielded better result. Then data can be interpreted based on the personal bias. You may have the confirmational bias. Okay. Sometimes data is not available का एक एग्जांपल आप दे सकते हो कि ई श्रम पोर्टल पे बोला है कि ई श्रम पोर्टल पे जो लोग हैं उनको हम सोशल सिक्योरिटी देंगे. And you are providing social security based on the people have enrolled in that. But most of the people have not enrolled. तो उनका क्या होगा? इनफॉर्मल लेबर ने नहीं इनरोल किया उसमें ई श्रम पोर्टल पे अभी भी. Many of them have not, sorry. So what you will do? So you cannot go for sheer objectivity. In this case, you need a leap of faith. Dhoni wala example. In this, you have to take holistic approach. Digital divide है, लोगों के डेटा नहीं आ पाए. Third, you can think if sheer objectivity is there, you will go for the process adherence. You will go for the process कि भैया हम पूरा process follow करेंगे. Then it may lead to rate tapeism. Okay. The fourth can be the person may go context blind. उसे तो बस आंख बंद करके वो करना है जो कागज पे लिखा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सैटेलाइट बेस्ड डेटा का यूज करके ट्राइबल के लैंड राइट्स डिसाइड कर दिए उन्होंने, एंड इट वाज इन न्यूज, एंड मोर देन 40% जो रिजेक्शंस थे वो इनकरेक्ट थे, बिकॉज ब्यूरोक्रेसी हैज नॉट विजिटेड ऑन ग्राउंड. फैक्ट है भाई, सैटेलाइट बता रही है, ले लो. सो sheer objectivity will go against the welfare state measure. Next, it will suppress the creativity and innovation. हर बार आदमी यही सोचेगा I have to do that only. Think about Armstrong Palme or what the name was, my school, my farm, Shashanka Ala, Divya Mittal, and the person who Abel Cafe, Sandeep Nanduri. You can all think about the notion. अगर ऑब्जेक्टिव शेयर ऑब्जेक्टिविटी होती तो क्या होता? केरला में अरुणा सुंदरा राजन would not have gone for pilot project. It will dehumanize the governance. Solution oriented approach ही नहीं बचे. You can link with again above examples. Seventh, limit on discretions. अगर ऑब्जेक्टिविटी आ जाएगी तो आप डिस्क्रिशन का यूज नहीं कर पाओगे. एंड डिस्क्रिशन कैन ब्रिंग बेटर थिंग्स. एंड अगेन ऑब्जेक्टिविटी के नाम पे यू कैन गो फॉर पोटेंशियल फॉर मोरल एब्डिगेशन एंड यू विल गो फॉर डेरिलिक्शन ऑफ ड्यूटी. आप काम ही नहीं करोगे, कहोगे भैया लॉ अलाउ ही नहीं कर रहा है. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज सेड देयर आर थ्री क्वेश्चंस और द essay or the topic asked by UPSC. It says visionary decision making happens at the intersection of intuition and logic. Logic is objectivity and intuition. Dhoni, one example I have given. So besides objectivity, what I was saying कि sheer objectivity नहीं होनी चाहिए और उसके साथ क्या और हो जो आप complement कर सकते हो. Besides objectivity, compassion is required for ethical decision making. So think, you have to include compassion. Then again, history is a series of victory by scientific man over romantic man. तो objectivity है, ये compassion मान लो इसे. So this is a one dimension. You will again give the counter perspective. No, it is not always the case कि scientific man will win over the romantic man. Sometimes romantic man will give intuition or imagination. Somebody is in your imagination and you are doing scientifically to bring that. Moon पे जाना, Mars पे जाना is a romanticism. So sometimes romanticism complements the scientific man. Okay, so you can think on those lines. I'm not taking much time on that. You will always use these quotes to write better answers. I am giving you one example. Honorable Supreme Court has taken a very wonderful stand. It is a case of not going for sheer objectivity, and you are doing what? You are doing, there is a word called to do the complete justice. This is a case where the case was filed under POXO Act. And isme though I have shared the link in our Telegram channel, you can refer and read the entire judgment. I am giving you just in short that there was a case, the child, we can say the child was accused of doing sexual harassment of a woman, but they were married, and as per POXO, he might be given imprisonment and all the punishment, but court has not as a precedent, but as an exceptional thing, has relieved him from this a crime or the conviction, because he says if we convict them, this person will be in jail. Who will take care of the family, the kid, and the wife? So sheer objectivity would have said that no, what the law is saying, give that punishment. But court has taken a liberal, the compassion aspect. Court exercises wide power to do the complete justice under 142. Declared that convict will not go imprisonment. It concluded that his imprisonment would cause further harm to the victim. See, this is called having higher purpose, not sheer objectivity. So again, as a future bureaucrat, imbibe these things. Learn what our institutions are doing. I hope this one question I have discussed sufficiently. Second question I am just not discussing too much. Just listen. It says define empathy. So first thing I will suggest, don't define in the introduction. Introduction में ही define मत कर देना, क्योंकि it is a part of main body. Second, it says discuss the role of empathy in solving the problem of the weaker section. So you will get all the points that yes, empathy is creating positive. You can also link with the as a comparison with the objectivity, that sheer objectivity will not work. Empathy is required. Very good example you can give Supreme Court wala. And this question I have already discussed in class 3rd in the day 3. See, what role empathy plays in shaping the attitude of the civil servant, enhance interaction with the public. So weaker section का कैसे फायदा होगा? You will take input from these arguments, examples and all. It says discuss. So my point is, don't just give कि empathy से सब कुछ अच्छा होगा. Also say empathy cannot be the top guiding light when it comes to the decision making. Because अगर empathy आपका top guiding light हो गया तो आपके decision impulsive हो जाएंगे. You can break the law. You can create moral hazard. You can put leniency. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप लोन वेवर कर देते हो बार बार इम्पैथी में आके, एंड इट कॉस्टिंग द बैंक्स, फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस कंप्रोमाइज्ड हो रहे हैं. यू कैन ब्रेक द लॉ. मीन्स यू कैन ब्रेक द लॉ. आपको लगेगा इसकी हेल्प करनी है, बट हाउ कम यू हेल्प इफ इट इज अगेंस्ट द लॉ? इंपल्सिव हो जाओगे आप एम्पैथी में. यू विल encourage द begging, child trafficking will happen. So empathy should not be the core criteria, and I have given you the argument of Bhagavad Gita also, that जो आपका डिसीजन मेकिंग है उसमें जो रेन होनी चाहिए, that rain must be holded by the reason, not the empathy. So empathy cannot be the sole or the top guiding principle. I have earlier also given the argument of it will create the emotional burnout. I have taken the example of a doctor, and you can give the example of COVID warrior. It may also compromise justice if you are doing just for the empathy. Think about the Porsche case, Pune wala. What parents were doing out of love to his or her child, their parents were what they were doing means to make the career, they are compromising the character. So again, the spoil system, emotion driven, Weber without emotions or value, then comes middle path. So what about the intelligence or objectivity? What about the compassion and empathy? The middle path is emotional intelligence. So we need emotional intelligence while utilizing the empathy so that emotions will work for you, not against you. And with this note, I'm completing this discussion. I'm not taking any copy for today's discussion. It is just for you. And if you need any suggestion, just I will go through. See, integrity आपने define किया, relevance लिखा. Where is the counter perspective? You have missed that. Evaluate कहाँ गया भाई? So this is the big mistake you all must have done. And second question जो है वो तो आसान है, ये सही बनाया, अच्छा है. And again, have you written the counter perspective? No. Why? Ankit, this is not expected from you. Please work on it. Mind the keywords. If you don't know, refer the video of the directive words. Even if you give less space to one part, but missing one part entirely is a crime. You will not score 65% marks if you are targeting in some way. I'm very blunt in saying this. Please understand. Again, this integrity, relevance, the same problem, same mistake you all must have done. See this question on, and again, to this ma'am, I am again and again saying, please ma'am, write in 2 pages. I will not see your answer. Integrity, see, इन्होंने बता दिया, ठीक है. Impartiality, relevance, again the same problem. Please work, improve that. ठीक है, आप counter perspective लिख देना इसमें. And yes, this is what I was saying कि ये जो आपने इधर कहीं लिखा था ना, ये इसको प्लीज मेक इट अ बिट स्पेसिफिक, इट विल हेल्प यू. अगेन आपने प्रोपोर्शन सही दिया है, जो किसी को ज़्यादा कम नहीं लिखा है, बट गिव वन लाइन ऑफ इंट्रोडक्शन. इंट्रोडक्शन में आप ये लिख दो कि ऑल दीज आर द वैल्यूज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर सिविल सर्वेंट टू डिलीवर बेटर थिंग्स. तो एक इंट्रो लिख दोगे 1 लाइन का, दैट विल बी द काइंड ऑफ ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट. And the second question में आपने empathy define कर दिया. Again the same problem, you have just taken one aspect, so cover that in the multi-dimensional manner what I have suggested. And thank you to all of you. This is all from my side. If you have any doubt, reach out to me, and thank you.